My name is Chris Christopherson. I'm here to speak a little bit about Jim Anderson, one of our inductees this evening. Jim and I have known each other for many years. In fact, the first time I met him, I think, was in 1979 or thereabouts, when soccer was in its infancy here in Kansas City. Jim had the first soccer store in the Kansas City area. I believe it was Elliott's Soccer Store, if I recall. And he supplied many teams that we had with uniforms. And from there, Jim did a lot of other things on different levels within the state. He did a lot of stuff with ODP. He formed basically the first actual club in Kansas City, or one of the first, because in those days it was just teams. There were no actual clubs. And he had the soccer club that had two teams in it that were very successful, a couple of them, Juventus and Benfica. And they both went to regionals and were state champions several years. And one of the highlights of Jim's career with soccer, he formed an under-19 team that made it all the way to the national finals in Omaha. It was the first Kansas team that's ever done that. And I was looking at Jim's resume, and I looked at all the stuff he'd done, and there was a couple things that were missing, I thought. One of them was, when I told you about him having a soccer store, he had to supply a lot of different, didn't have to, but he supplied a lot of different teams. And I know that there are a lot of teams at that time that probably didn't have the means to buy all these uniforms and the gear. And I think probably somehow they ended up having them anyway. Jim was a defender in our over 40 league, indoor league here in Kansas City when we first had indoor soccer, and it was kind of in conjunction with the Comets when they came to town, and so everybody was into indoor soccer. We formed this league, and Jim and I were on the same team. In fact, we played the same shift in the soccer, and we basically anchored the back line. And the emphasis on anchor, because we didn't move very much. And we became known as the two no-overlap fullbacks in the indoor soccer. And I kind of wondered why Jim never mentioned this in his resume, but then I went back and looked at some of the tapes, and I can understand why he didn't. That was not a Hall of Fame performance. It's just kind of a thumbnail sketch of the stuff that Jim has done, and I just want to wish him congratulations, and it's well deserved that he gets this honor, and thank him for being a friend of soccer in Kansas City.
My name's Ed Nelson, and I'm very happy to have been asked to say a few words tonight on behalf of Jim Anderson and his nomination for the Kansas Soccer Hall of Fame. I've known Jim since I tried out for his soccer team when I was about 16 years old, the Elliott Express, and was fortunate enough to make it. And I remember Jim as a real soccer pioneer. We were one of the first teams, maybe the first teams, that had uniforms that matched and socks that matched and a coach who'd kicked a ball. And that was a lot of fun. And I know over the years Jim and Martha both have done so much for the soccer community. So many things that I don't know about, and I'm sure many others don't. But I really appreciate all the work he's done. He's been a real soccer pioneer in my opinion. But really when I think about Jim, the word gentleman comes to mind. Everything that I remember him ever doing, he did with such professionalism and such poise, and he's just a real gentleman and a gentleman of the sport. So Jim, congratulations on this great and well-deserved nomination and election, and I hope everybody has a fun night. Congratulations, Jim.
You're here to celebrate Jim's endless support in Kansas City soccer. He deserves it, but I got to tell you, there's another side to him. As I've gotten a little bit longer in the tooth, a little older, things that are important have changed a little bit in my life. I loved soccer. I love the people I came across, the team play, and the whole aspect of it. My mom always taught me that there's more to playing soccer. It gives you some life lessons. So I've got a story about a life lesson that Jim and his family taught me. As a 19-year-old college kid, away from home. My mom had died a year or two earlier, and I was living in my car, and had known the Andersons for a while, and it was college break. We had a month off school, and was asked if I'd work at the store. They had a little sports shop in Kansas City. I'm sure they can tell you the name of it. I can't think of what city it was in. It's Christmas time, and worked for a few weeks, and it was Christmas Eve. I remember snowing outside, and getting near closing time, Martha, my surrogate mom at the time, asked if I'd help carry Christmas presents out to the car for the kids. Sure. So standing there, and she loads up my arms, and I got to tell you, she's piling this stuff above my head. I can't see anymore. I'm thinking, how about maybe 2 trips? But she just kept piling. Jim was in the back with the kids, I think, finishing up some paperwork or doing something. She'd come up with the guise of where he was at. I got my arms full, get near the door. She opens the door for me, thank you, and I wander outside, at which time the door slams behind me and it gets locked, and from the back room come Jim and the kids, all waving Merry Christmas. The armful of presents this 19-year-old kid had, who was living in his car, were for him and his dad. The family had taken the time to pick some things out for us, wrap them, and send them home. It wasn't about the presents, it was about the love that was given to a kid. And though I've lost touch with the Andersons over the years, I went in the Marine Corps, had the privilege to serve as an officer in the United States Marine Corps. Every Christmas, that story comes to my mind, and it fills me with such warmth and love. You touched my life. And I just want to say thank you. Over the years, I've tried to give that back. I'm out here in California. I'm not a millionaire. I see a homeless person on the street, and I won't give them money, but I'll pay for their lunch, sit down and have lunch with them, learn their name. When I see them on the street, call them by name. Maybe a pair of socks here and there, something warm. But that comes from you, Jim, Martha, Chris, and Adam. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your celebration evening, Hall of Fame you've earned for what your contributions to Kansas City soccer have been. But it's the life changes, as Christ tells us, the greatest commandment is to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart. And the second greatest is to love thy neighbor as thyself. He taught me that at a young age, and I've tried to carry that message throughout my life. Thank you for touching my life, and congratulations on the Hall of Fame. You deserve it, and I hope you have a wonderful night and a great life. God bless you all.